Sometimes breaking the silence is the hardest part. So much going on, so much pain, anxiety, I'm fucking crawling out of my skin. It's just like, this isn't me. This isn't me. My brain, it just keeps turning to mush, and I don't even know how to, like, talk anymore, talk to people anymore. Trying to say, I don't know. And that's frustrating. I don't know where to start. It's hard. For a second, I really don't know what is real, where I am, who I am. What am I looking at? What body am I living in? I need help. I can't. But in order for me to go somewhere in a wheelchair, I have to be dependent on someone else to get me there. And I don't have anyone that I can depend on. I don't have anybody that I can put that burden on. This is hard. This is really hard. And I'm confused. And I need help. And I need to learn how to ask for help. And I need to learn how to be okay when help is turned down. Tell you what, I'm still gonna fucking do this. I'm still gonna do this. I'm here. I'm gonna turn this into something beautiful, I swear to God. I'm scared. I'm always scared. I'm always scared. That's what being sick has done to me. It's made me scared. Scared to eat, scared to walk, scared to talk, scared to go to class. Scared. It's made me feel helpless. I'm going to get me through this. I'm going to get through this. Sometimes it's miserable getting through the day. You can't be strong all the time. Couldn't keep any food down today. Was told that I can't go to California next week. The administration of my school is making me feel like I'm a bigger problem than I'm worth. But I'm trying really hard not to think of myself that way. Hi. Today we are getting ready to leave for the Mayo Clinic. They denied us before for an appointment, but it's kind of an emergency. I haven't been able to stand or walk on my own for quite some time. And there's just a bunch of shit wrong and it's not okay. So, wish us luck. Let's pray that we get in.
This is, see this Stephanie here? I mean the 94 from Milwaukee.
Photographing you.
So, really?
Really? Fuck Mayo Clinic. They denied me. Again. I wouldn't be able to be seen in the POTS clinic for a year. The lady was such a... I had 6 doctors recommend me to Mayo Clinic. Tell me, do you know how many doctors have told me that I'm too complicated? And then they tell me that they're all full, I'm not complicated enough, I'm not sick enough for them, I'm not urgent enough for them. Even though I'm 21 years old and I've been living my life the past 2 months in a fucking wheelchair. Even though I can hardly live my life, I cannot stand up on my own. I cannot walk more than a few feet on my own. I cannot walk down the hallway, I cannot walk down the stairs. I mean, I'm keeping my cool. Just really frustrating. No, frustrating doesn't even... Because I'm usually in pain. And I'm in pain now. Always in pain. And so you're talking and you're thinking, and then there's pain, and sometimes you can't think of anything else anymore. I'm gonna get better. Do you know how many days I've been in sweatpants for? All day, every day. They denied me. For the second time. There's this doctor in Spring Grove. Kind of between my parents and Milwaukee. And his approach seems to make sense. He's a neurologist. Eliminated her symptoms. And I talked to him today on the phone. He said he's going to come in early Tuesday morning, even though he doesn't work on Tuesday mornings. He's going to come in so that he can see me and meet with me. He's going to train my brain. Shit, we might be onto something. Please. It's not going to be like this forever. It's not going to be like this forever. It's not going to be like this forever.
Mom's a pyro. Mom is an absolute pyromaniac. Daughter has misplaced faith in her mother. Look at that. I think.
Oh yeah, it's sucking up my skin.
How's it feel?
Sucking.
It's hard watching you do that. Okay. Here, I'll try it. I can have a little.
When you direct deposit your tax refund to a prepaid Visa Fresh card, you can get your tax refund. This knife, I'd hate to destroy it. My knife was made with hammers, Teddy. Hammering would actually make it stronger, so whatever you want to tell yourself.
Jesus Christ. I'll call the hospital right now, but I wanted to get you this first, okay? I don't know if this will help you or not, but maybe it will. Your dad thought I knew that we had carrots. I'm like, how do I know? Okay, you lay down. Do you want me to call the emergency room?
Other way. Yeah, it's good, thank you. I do this because it's invisible, what I'm going through. And if I don't make it visible, I'll just disappear. So it's important. And I get confused. I don't know how to say that sometimes. I don't feel like talking. I ain't got no spoons. You're gonna do this because you don't have any other choice. So, Dad. And I'd be crazy if I didn't record this day and make it permanent in history. February 7th, 2017. I met Dr. Ralph Dysautonomia. He's a neurologist that believes in dysautonomia. It's just my nervous system doesn't work. I'm still totally beat up from the procedures that I had last week. But just going to a doctor, and instead of him just like poking me with needles and like getting my blood tests and like checking to see that everything was normal, he actually like checked my eyes, like response to things, and he listened to me, and he did functional tests, not, looking at labs, functional, how I'm functioning. Because if you just look at me on a sheet of paper, it doesn't make sense. And he finally made sense of me. I'm starting to figure things out about myself and open up about myself and open up the, there's some doors that are being opened in my mind. He's reassured me that he's gonna get to know me better and we're gonna build a relationship with each other. Rather than just get bounced around with doctors and have them give up on me and tell me that I'm too complicated and always trying to find some place that will deal with me. And he says, that's always been invisible. Nobody ever believed me. When I would have spurts, it just made my skin crawl. And I would say, I'm not okay, I'm not okay, this is not okay, it's not okay. It's just all starting to make just a lot of sense. It's kind of hard to keep my thoughts straight, but I'm just so exhausted, so that's pretty understandable. Jesus. Okay. Just had to tell you I met a couple really cool people these last couple days. Over and out. One of the most difficult things that I'm having to learn to deal with in regards to my symptoms is accepting that every day is going to be different and that I need to plan my day according to how I feel rather than what I need/want to get done. I've always been someone who keeps busy, works multiple jobs, plus takes a sporting class, fills her spare time with projects and odd jobs. Now I'm lucky if I feel up to doing anything in a day, and it's mentally exhausting running through the list of things I need to get done, but can't because I'm in too much pain and or too disassociated. This disassociation is strange as well. It's almost like my being decides to step a little outside my body, trying to detach itself from the mechanical pains of the cage it is held in. This is when I suffer a lot. This is when I stutter a lot, have troubles holding meaningful conversations, and ultimately get very frustrated with myself for not being able to communicate well and force myself to go on. It's a strange feeling that the world is slightly out of place, and sometimes I struggle for a couple days to find my way back. Today is day 2 this time. And I said, I feel the same way completely. The strange feeling that reality is a bit off. It's confusing. And sometimes, like this morning, I'll have a brief moment of ultimate reality when I hear everything and sense everything truly without the fog in my brain. But then it turns to melancholy because reality is painful, literally full of pain. have faith in better days. She replied, "Oh gosh, yeah, that pretty perfectly describes it. Being in reality is physically, mentally, and emotionally painful, while being slightly out of reality is quite frightening and anxiety-inducing. Thanks, friend."
Fields of California and the mines in Trinidad, and lit a fire that burned so bright that it still brings people home. Ordinary heroes, ordinary heroes, ordinary heroes. Great changes don't come about from some mystery.
Oh, my darling armadillo, how delightful it would be if for us those silver wedding bells would chime. Let the orange blossoms billow, you need only say I will. Oh, be my darling armadillo all the time.
Died in the end. I lived alone, so I took him home. He doesn't love me, but he keeps me company, everything's alright.
You are safe. You are breathing. You're alive. You're here. You're safe. You're breathing. You're alive. You're here. You're safe. You're breathing. You're alive. You are here. You are here. You are here. You're safe. You are here. You are safe. You are here. You are here. You are safe. I'm gonna do some brain exercises. Maybe it'll calm me down. Can you see me? It's gonna be alright, beep beep, yeah, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay, yeah, 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 it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright, yeah, it's gonna be okay. Shit's looking up, things are getting better. I have been walking with a cane. Today I walked without a cane. What? Who? Me? Yeah, I did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, you want to know what I did? I cleaned out my medicine cabinet. I cleaned it all out. I took out all prescription meds except for 4. 2 as needed and 2 daily ones. What? Can you believe it? I know. Let me show you the proof, because I have the bag. This is all the prescription meds I've had in my pill box. And now, ba-doop. How normal does that look? Look at that, it's beautiful. They're mostly vitamins. Hey, life is cool. and life is good. And we got each other.
Okay, we're just going to your right one time around. Okay, ready? We all good? Good. Here we go. Good. All right. Probably go around 3 or 4 times. Sound good?
Yeah.
Here we go.
That is unbelievable salad.
Easy?
I don't know if it's blue cheese.
I was able to stay on it. Yeah. Mama, do you have a massage scheduled today or no? No.
Okay. Right forward. Good. All the way around. Okay. Here we go.
Pretty good.
Very good. Put it up. Shoulders at 90, elbows at 90. And you just lean forward through it. You'll feel that pull through here. And then you can get different parts of that back by moving your arm up here. And against that lower part. Different part.
These hospital stays get the best of me. Trying to fix my mind, I'm still trying to fix my mind. Trying to work it out, I'm still trying to fix my mind.
We haven't really talked in a while. Let's, because I've been stuck in my head. I know that it's gonna be okay. Because I trust that it's gonna be okay. And I see things around me that tell me that it's gonna be okay. Like the turquoise pot, the turquoise bracelet, the turquoise candle, the turquoise bag, turquoise package on the napkins. I can't explain it, but it's like a sign that it's gonna be okay, because turquoise is the color of pretty good. And that's kind of how I've been doing, is pretty good. but it's hard because there are things that I'm happy that I'm doing. Things are going really well. And I've been improving a lot, and today I went for a walk, like a total of like 15 minutes. I walked to the Milwaukee Art Museum, and it was wonderful, and it felt like a miracle, and the rain held off, and I decided to stick it out, and it held off, and it was really beautiful. And then I went to the grocery store, and I went to the bakery, and I've been able to run errands by myself, and I've been able to hold conversations. But it feels like the outer 10% is like what is, you know, feeling better. This inner 90% is still like way under construction, under massive cleanup, and it's still quite overwhelming. Last night I wrote dysfunctional theme park in my head because it feels like there's a mind space of mine that is like this theme park, amusement park, with all these different roller coasters, and it was like it was taken over by like zombie apocalypse, and there's all this just like destruction and rot and growth and just like sickness, disease. We've cleaned out the disease, you know, we've cleaned out the rot and all of that, but on days like today it feels like it's still like cloudy and abandoned and tumbleweeds and garbage still, you know, sprinkled, and I don't know, it's still a difficult mind space to live in. And the rides, the roller coasters, are dysfunctional. There's nobody there that's running them. It's like they have like power surges, and they just like turn on, and sometimes they're scary, and sometimes they're like adrenaline rush and like manic, but I don't feel very in control of what roller coaster is going on, if that makes sense. While I'm alone, I can like see myself just like walking through it and just like sitting kind of like on one of the stages, just like wanting it to be different, wanting it to be full of life and people and love and happiness and music, and it's still under such massive construction, and I can't let anybody in yet. Except for like cleanup crew. Like my doctors and my family. A third of my time can be spent working on myself and maintenance. A third of my time has to be spent in the moment, letting go, all right, and at peace with where I am. And a third of my time I can spend asking for help. And with other people. And helping others. A third of it I am in control of, a third of it I can ask for help for, and a third of it I have to be at peace with. And I was struggling with that because it was like I was spending 90% of my time just wishing it was different. And that's a really difficult mind space to live in, just sitting there like waiting and just like, you know, and I would just kind of like rock back and forth, like waiting until I have the energy and like, okay, what can I do to like better myself? Dr. Mike is leaving practice to go full-time to another practice in southern Chicago. Yeah, it kind of threw me. Dr. Mike is leaving. Kind of, I don't know. It's definitely gonna be a loss. It's hard. He's really been here for me and really made a difference in just how I felt about going through this whole process. Made me feel a lot less alone. He's helped me mentally, physically, and spiritually. He's a great fucking doctor. And I want to do something for him. He helped to save my life, and I thought he was gonna be there to like see it through. Which he'll be back in September when Dr. Ralph goes to Italy. Aw, I can't believe it. It's just all the things that I always was too afraid to tell all to one doctor. All the things that no other doctor would ever understand, he always understood. And he always made sense of it, and he always explained it to me, and he could always fix it. He could always help me. It made a huge difference in my life. And he's helped so many people. And he's going to help so many people. The world could use more people like Dr. Mike. And I hope that I continue to meet more people like Dr. Mike. Just as the universe was in my favor when she brought Dr. Mike into my life, she's still in my favor. And in his favor on this journey that he is embarking. And the universe will continue to be on my side with introducing me to the next doctor that will be a part of my treatment plan and my journey, my healing journey. It's going to be really hard to see Dr. Mike go and to not see him 3 times a week. And I'm walking out in the rain, and I am listening to Lone Moan of the dial tone again. I'm getting nowhere with you, and I can't let it go, and I can't break through. I'm stressed because there's a lot of stuff going on that I am not in control of. I'm gonna be moving back into my parents' on Tuesday, and I thought I was going to be moving to a 2-bedroom with my friend in August, and I don't think that she's going to be well enough to come back. I don't know, it's not set in stone, and it's just really stressing me out. Just to feel so alone still, the same thing as me. And I want her here. And I want to go through it together. It's just I found a cat and then she left. And now I don't know if she's coming back, when she's coming back. And then Dr. Mike was there and now he's leaving. He's not leaving, but things are changing. And there's just a whole hell of a lot of stuff that I'm not in control of right now. And coming to move back into my parents' house, there's gonna be even a whole more lot that I'm not in control of. And I just find myself, like, praying, like, God, in this cloudy, foggy, still littered place. And that's the place I've been living in. And it's just difficult because I feel like I'm doing everything that I can be doing. I am doing everything. I don't know, I'm just tired. And I just, like, could just really use this stress, like, not being here. Change my room up a little bit because it just still feels like sick room in here. I just want some space by the window to dance. As I get better, my fears will get better, because I realized when I was outside, I've always had, like, down to my core, a fear of being watched. Always. So when I'm outside smoking a joint, trying to do my exercises, I'm constantly, like, my eyes are just, like, darting to make sure that, like, nothing moves. My life has been like that for years and years and years, as long as I can remember. And that's the whole thing about this disease, that my body thinks that I'm in fight or flight, that I'm being under attack, but my reality just feels like I'm being watched. I kind of think it's funny that, like, that's, like, this paranoia that I have, and, like, this disassociation that I have from reality from it, and, like, how strong it's made my connection to the camera, because it gives me that power of, like, literally putting something in front of me that is watching me, so it becomes a rational thing. If that makes sense. It's just hard to talk to people because I feel like I said, my brain is still under such, like, massive construction, and it's so hard to, like, socialize still and put, like, sentences and thoughts together, that I feel like the conversations that I have with people, I can only have ones that have, like, been rehearsed. And so, like, I just think all the time and think, and so I feel like then, like, the only thing that I end up being able to talk to people about is, like, sick talk and, like, brain talk. And that doesn't help me feeling like the sick girl, which I have to get over, because I'm not a burden, and I really do a good job of taking care of myself. And if somebody, like, I think the problem is that when somebody comes along that wants to take care of me, I'm like, okay, take care of me. But then, like, they make me feel like I'm needy and I'm asking for too much, and then I'm like, fine, fuck off, I'll take care of myself, like I always do. Like, what the fuck do I need you for anyways? The hard thing is, by nature, I'm an extrovert. I need to express myself and be around people and perform. I'm very expressive. But being sick has made me have to be introverted. It's done a lot of things. It's made me have to be introverted for my health. It's made me introverted just mentally because I just like exhausted, and it's really hindered like my social abilities and like my social anxiety. Like I've never had social anxiety. And it also just like makes me scared because of like my limitations, like what I can't do. I don't want to like go out and like push myself and do things that I like can't do and like push myself into a flare. Because I went fucking camping last year and then it put me in a flare. Although I didn't know what was wrong before. Now that I know that I'm like working on the root of the problem, I don't have to be scared of doing things like that anymore. There's no like false hope, you know. I don't have to be scared of going backwards.
I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man. Or whatever that means. Into a crisis times when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. I am feeling a little peculiar. Into a wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I can't feel high and I keep the top of my lungs. What's going on?
slave.